ball. And ladies and gentlemen, the lineup for your Melrose Americans, leading off, third baseman Elias Marinos. Batting second, the shortstop Charlie Hugie. Hitting third, the left fielder Dave Center. Hitting fourth, the designated hitter Kyle Cortese. Batting fifth, center fielder Nick Gordo. Batting sixth, the first baseman Ian Libby. Batting seventh, the right fielder Dan O'Leary. Catching, batting eighth, Jackson Stanton. And batting ninth, the second baseman Josh Bond. On the mound for your Melrose Americans, number 7, coming in with an ERA of 3.5, tied for the league in strikeouts, Sean Smeglin.
From Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Tonight, it's the Lexington Blue Sox with a record of 3-1, visiting the Melrose Americans with a record of 3-4. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. Hope to be joined later on by either Borja Jones Barasaluthe or Raimundo Gomez on color. Blue Sox back in action and looking for revenge for their first loss of the season 2 weeks ago against Melrose in their second game of the season and their home opener. They will send Eddie Campbell to the mound, who struck out the side in his one inning against the Americans in that game. And the Blue Sox will face Sean Smeglin.
Leading off, the Blue Sox,
he have the
number 4, Ross Curley.
Famous Smeglin family here in Boston amateur baseball. Ross Curley to lead things off. Smeglin currently tied for third in the league in strikeouts with 11, behind Nate Esplin of your Blue Sox and Connor Root of the Reading Bulldogs. The first pitch to Ross at 7:34 misses inside, and we're underway. Second game of the first day of back-to-back doubleheaders here on LSP, as that runs too far inside, and it's 2-0. Of course, we had the Blue-Gray USA Northeast Invitational earlier today at Worcester State. Now here we are in Melrose for some Intercity League action. Tomorrow we'll have the MBCA Sophomore Select All-Star Game, also at Worcester State, as that's in there for strike one. Smeglin back of the count at 2-1. And then tomorrow night we'll have the Blue Sox hosting the Reading Bulldogs in the first meeting between those two teams this season. Strike two, Ross taking everything thus far. 2-2 the count. Ross, then Kyle Adey in left and Richie Burgos at third to lead off the top of the first. And Ross smokes this one into center field. Back goes Gordo. All the way to the wall, reaches up. It is gone. A home run for Ross Curley. Ross's first home run of the season, and the same park where he hit his first career Intercity League home run several years ago. The one he still owes me a steak dinner for. Ross to dead center. The one he hit a few years ago was to left. So a reasonable start for the Blue Sox, and Kyle Adey is now ahead of Smeglin. 1-0. Now he nubs this one foul at the plate. It's 1-1. That's the first home run for the Blue Sox this year. As Adey takes outside 2-1. As this is flared into left field, over towards the line goes Dave Center, and he makes the catch for out number one. It's overcast tonight, and we're still waiting for the lights to come on here at Morelli Field. Well, with Ross's home run, that leaves the Wakefield Merchants as the last team this year for the ICL to hit a home run. Yet to hit a home run, that is. That'll bring up Richie Burgos, the third baseman. And Richie takes over the middle of the plate for strike one. Richie batting .200 with 2 RBIs. Both his hits are singles. 1-1 the count. Ross's home run was his 4th hit in 13 at-bats this year. And 2 of his 4 hits are for extra bases. 1 double, now 1 home run. 80 entered play, batting .500, but retired on his first at-bat. 2-2 the count now to Richie as he comes up empty. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Burgos doesn't like the call, but there are 2 down. So it'll be up to Julian Alvarez to try and keep the line moving. Jules entering play at .286 with 3 RBIs. As that jackknifes Julian a bit, and it is 1-0. Julian pops this one into right field, and it will be caught by the right fielder O'Leary for the out that retires the side, but leadoff home run by Ross Curley puts the Blue Sox up 1-0 after half an inning. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So we didn't give you a chance to give the full lineups. So here they are for the Blue Sox in the red jerseys with the red, white, and blue caps and white pants. Ross Curley leading it off at short, followed by Kyle 80 in left, Richie Burgos at third. Julian Alvarez is in right, Zach Stevens is the DH, Morgan Brown is at second, Josue Feliciano is at first, John Putras is behind the plate, and Dominic Zaire rounds out the lineup in center field. Mentioned Eddie Campbell. Getting the start for the Blue Sox, 1 inning of work this year. That came against Melrose where he struck out the side. For the Americans, their lineup looks like this. Elias Varinos leads it off at third, followed by Charlie Hughey at short. Dave Center is in left. Kyle Cortese is the DH. Nick Gordo is in center. Ian Libby is at first. Dan O'Leary is in right. Jackson Stanton is behind the plate, and Josh Bond rounds out the lineup at second base. And on the mound for the Americans, Sean Smeglin, son of Bill Smeglin. You mentioned he's tied for third in the Intercity League in strikeouts entering play tonight. Struck out those 11 batters in 1 start in 6 innings while taking the loss, allowing 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 1 home run to the Reading Bulldogs 10 nights ago. So Elias Varinos will lead things off for the Americans here in the bottom of the first, and Campbell, working exclusively from the stretch, delivers outside, ball 1 taken by Varinos. Third baseman Burgos in on the grass, anticipating the bunt. Varinos takes down and away, 2-0. Varinos entering play with a .346 average and 4 RBIs. That's in there for strike 1. And Campbell is in the count at 2-1. All 9 of his hits are singles. He's also scored 4 runs. Has not struck out this year. As that is fouled off for strike 2. Charlie Hughie on deck, UMass Boston product, who was named the Little East Conference Tournament MVP in baseball, defeating R. Anderson Jimenez in New England College. And, of course, UMass Boston Beacons advancing to the College World Series this year. As that is fouled off. Reno's doing a good job staying ahead, staying in the count here, 3-2. Fouling off a couple of pitches. Can Campbell put him away? He cannot there. That's fouled on the Lynn Fells Parkway with a number of cars passing by. Of course, the 2 strikes, the bunt obviously off, so Burgos backs up a little bit. This is grounded to second. Brown has it. He'll fire on to first. Low throw, but hauled in by Feliciano for the first out of the bottom of the first. Ball took a little bit of a turn as it skipped off the grass towards Morgan. But here is Hughie. Still waiting for the lights to come on here. Can't play in the dark. And we certainly can't play with the sprinklers on, as we established that so many years ago. Hughie batting 176 with 1 RBI. That's outside for ball 1. Hughie's got 176 batting average, but he's drawn 4 walks and struck out just once, which gives him an on-base percentage of .333. That's a little high, 3-0 to Charlie. Charlie's second on the team in walks drawn, behind Kyle Cortese, who's in the 4 slot in this lineup. And that's low for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk issued to Hughie. He's on board.
Now batting, the left fielder out of Newbury College, number 13, Dave Center.
So here is the power-hitting left fielder Dave Center entering play at .333 with 1 homer and 9 RBIs. Center leads the squad in RBIs in that category. 9 RBIs. But he doesn't have any other extra base hits. And if there's any complaints about his games, he lines this one up the middle for a base hit. Up to second goes Hughie. There ain't complaints there. You know, he just it's home run or single, and he's also struck out 9 times and hasn't walked once.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 22, Kyle Cortese.
So Campbell in a little bit of a tough spot here. Kyle Cortese, the DH, at bat. Entering play with a 200 average, but a 400 on base percentage. Double home run, 3 RBIs. And this is a very tight strike zone that Campbell has to work with here. He is behind 1-0. Dancing off of second is Hughie, and the pitch is fouled off onto Tremont Street, and we have an official broadcast. Hughie at second, center at first, Cortese at the plate, one down in a 1-0 game here in the bottom of the first. 2-1. Campbell having a hard time finding the strike zone right now. Infield playing at double play depth, runner not being held on at first center. He's not really a threat to run, even if second was open. This is fouled off, 2-2. Against a fouled off strike. Campbell not really getting called or swinging strikes. Can't get anything by these batters. Putting the bat on the ball. That's all you can ask for sometimes. Put the ball in play, force the defense to make plays on you. Lefty-lefty matchup here. 2-2 the count. 2 on, 1 out. Blue Sox with the first run of the game in the top half of this inning on a leadoff home run by Ross Curley. That misses, full count. I think you got to challenge Cortese, right? You got a lefty-on-lefty matchup. On deck is Nick Gordo, who's a 429 hitter. You got to challenge him here. Cortese is only a 200 hitter. Throw it in the strike zone. He grounds it to first, and it's bobbled by Sway. He will underhand to Campbell covering the bag and get the out. But up to second and third goes center and Hughie.
Now batting, the center fielder out of Fitchburg State University, number 24, Nick Gordo.
So here is Fitchburg State product Nick Gordo, as I mentioned, batting .429 with 3 doubles and 4 runs scored. And a double here, even just a single here, could give Melrose an early lead. He laces one to left field. It's down for a base hit. Being waved around third is center. Here comes the throw. It'll go to second. Center scores. Now they've got Gordo in a hot box. And they got him eventually at first. And the inning is over, but not before 2 runs score on that base hit. And the Americans lead the Blue Sox once again. They lead 2-1 after 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Stand at attention, Sailor, as Zach Stevens, freshman All-American from Navy, steps to the plate.
Out of Navy, the designated hitter, Zach Stevens.
Down and away for ball 1. Stevens entering play at .333 with 1 RBI. fouled off. One and one the count. Talking with Morgan Brown during the Katuitt game about the opportunity that Zach gets here. You know, you're a Division I baseball player, and you're a freshman All-American, as Stevens fouls that off 2-2. But when you're in one of the service academies, you don't really have the luxury of being able to play in one of the summer leagues, like in the Cape or the Northwoods League or whatever. This is the best chance you get, as Stevens puts a charge into this one to center field, and it is gone. The second straight inning with a leadoff home run for the Blue Sox.
Home run by Zach Stevens.
So the Blue Sox tie the game just like that with Stevens' first home run and second RBI.
Now batting the second baseman, number 7, Morgan Brown.
And here is Morgan Brown. So first inning leading off with a home run, second inning leading off with a home run. Now can the Blue Sox get some base runners on after the home runs and try and get a little rally going? Oftentimes when the Blue Sox get an offensive explosion, it's usually at one of two ballparks. It's either at center field or it's at Morelli. And the Blue Sox already out to a hot start with 2 home runs. And now Brown puts a charge into this one to center field, but this is going to stay in the ballpark as it's caught by Gordo for out number 1.
Now batting the first baseman out of MCLA, number 21, Josue Feliciano.
So here is Josue Feliciano leading the team in batting average at .615 as he takes strike 1. 8 hits and 13 at-bats, 2 doubles, 1 RBI, 5 runs scored. That's down and in for ball 1. Sway grounds this one to the left side, scooped by the shortstop, on to first, good stretch by the first baseman Libby for out number 2. Sway leading the ICL in hitting coming into play tonight.
Now batting number 2 out of Northeastern University, the catcher, John Putris.
Here's John Putris, who takes ball 1. Putris comes up empty at a pitch up and away to even the count at 1. Putris batting .200 with 1 run scored in the early going. As that skips to the plate and bounces away from the catcher Stanton for ball 2, 2-1. Skied into right field, and the catch is made by O'Leary for the out that retires the side. So a familiar pattern, leadoff home run, and then 3 straight outs for the Blue Sox, but they do tie the game. It's 2-2 after an inning and a half. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. So the first baseman, Ian Libby, will lead things off here in the bottom of the second.
First baseman, number 18, Ian Libby.
Both teams with 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. Campbell misses down low for ball 1 to Libby.
Libby is out of RIT.
Libby batting .357 with 4 RBIs as he checks his swing, but it's a called strike 1, 1-1. Two and one as Campbell misses. That runs too far inside, 3-1. The strike zone continues to be a hard one to find for Campbell. And that misses for ball 4. Second walk already issued by Campbell.
Now batting out of Brandeis University, the right fielder, number 39, Dan Leary.
So that'll bring up Dan O'Leary, the right fielder. As O'Leary gets one down in front of the mound, Campbell fields it, slings it over to first. It'll be a 1-4 sacrifice.
Now batting, the catcher.
Puts the go-ahead run.
Jackson Stanton.
Puts the go-ahead run in scoring position for the Americans as O'Leary lays down the bunt. Here's Jackson Stanton, the catcher. And that is way outside, skips to the backstop. Putty fields it, and up to third on the wild pitch goes Libby. So Stanton with a chance for an RBI here, batting .600 in limited action, 3 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored. And he's going to try and get a squeeze in, and that'll force, and nobody was at first to cover. It was hit so hard that it forced Libby to hold at third, but no one was at first to get the out.
Number 8.
It does prevent the run from scoring, though, so it'll be a bunt single.
Out of Denison University, Josh Bond.
So first and third, 1 out. Double play is in order, if that's any consolation, for the Blue Sox defense. Josh Bond, the second baseman, takes ball 1. Down and in, 2-0. Wonder at what point Matty Karras is going to have to come out and have a word with Campbell. As this is skied into left field, striding over his 80, he makes the catch. The throw will come into second base. It'll be a sacrifice fly. Libby scores. And Melrose is back out on top, 3-2.
Now batting, the third baseman,
Stanton holds it first. Here's Elias Farinos, who grounded out to second his first time up in the first. As this is lined into right field for a base hit. Stanton gets to second, holds there.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 23, Charlie Hughie.
And Charlie Hughie with a runner in scoring position here in 2 outs. Hughie walked and scored last inning. Infield playing back here, outfield playing straight away. And that skips to the plate, picked up by Puttress. Ball 1. And Hughie skies this one into center field. In comes Zaire. He makes the catch for the out that retires the side. Americans retake the lead on the sacrifice fly by Bond. 2 in the books, 3-2 Americans. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Dominic Zaire, Ross Curley, and Kyle 80. Ladies and gentlemen, the city of Melrose would like us to remind you that there are trash receptacles located throughout the park. Please do not leave your trash in the stands, and please do not drop or spit seeds, shells, or gum onto the bleachers. Please be respectful of the game and of the facilities.
You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL.
Leading off to the Blue Sox out of Fisher College, the center fielder, number 29, Dominic Zaire.
Dominic Zaire, let's see if he can keep this party going for the Blue Sox, these leadoff home run parties, as he takes inside for ball 1. Of course, he had a walk-off home run in the bottom of the bottom of the 7th. This won't be a home run, but it'll get down for extra bases as it gets into the corner. Or will it be extra bases? No. The left fielder center picks it up quickly and rifles it into the infield, but it is a leadoff hit regardless for the Blue Sox. Is there who had that walk-off home run in Game 1 of the championship series last year at this park. And they're going to shift big time for Ross. And now the second baseman, Bond, is moving over towards first base, as that is ball 1. Tying run in first now for the Blue Sox in this back and forth game. 3-2 already as we play the top of the 3rd. 2-0. Now it looks like it's Smeglin's turn to feel the squeeze. as this is into left field, and this will get down for a base hit. Zare will hold at second, tying run now in scoring position, as Ross is 2 for 2.
The left fielder, number 20, Kyle 80.
That'll bring up Kyle 80, 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. Zare at second, Curley at first. Good speed at the bases if 80 can find a gap. As that's down and away for ball 1. It's been only one strikeout this game. That was by Smeglin of Burgos on a called third strike. As Matt Karras leans out of the way of that foul ball in the first base coach's box, 1-1. Back-to-back singles leading off this top of the third. Smeglin comes set. The pitch. Down and away, 2-1. First 2 innings for the Blue Sox were leadoff home runs, followed by 3 straight outs. This one, it begins with 2 singles. 3-1. A lot of these pitches are ones that other umpires in the ICL will gladly give you for a strike. The 3-1. This is down the first baseline. That is a fair ball. Zare's around second. He's going to score. Around third, he's going to score. Curley will hold at third. It is an RBI double for Kyle 80, and we are tied at 3. And that's going to bring Orazio Azzarello out to the mound for a conference with Sean Smeglin, and I'm actually kind of surprised that it's Smeglin that's getting the first visit of the game, and not Campbell. This is the Blue Sox first multi-homer game since the regular season finale last year against the Alabrandis.
Third baseman, number 18, Richie Burgos.
And the first multi-home run game for the Blue Sox at Morelli since July of 2017, in a game in which they actually hit 3 home runs. So swing and a miss by Burgos, and he's behind 0-1. 2 runners in scoring position for Burgos as the infield comes in with second and third and nobody out. And that hit him. Or did it hit him, or? Well, it sounded like it hit him. It hit something. I guess that was Stanton's glove because of the confusion, I think the runners thought it had hit Richie, so they didn't advance on what would have been ruled a wild pitch. So nothing happens. It's just ball 1, 1-1. A lot of confusion on that play. But Burgos didn't make any moves towards first, so obviously he knew it didn't hit him. And he grounds this one off the pitcher. He finds it, fires it to first. Smashed it back up the box. Smeglin makes the play. Tough break for Richie. 1 down, and now we're going to have a visit from the home plate umpire and from Kevin Burgoyne. This is not going to count as a mound visit that will force Smeglin out of the game. Because it's just to check for an injury. But Smeglin says he's okay. That was a walk-off, right? That was the walk-off home. The walk-off grand slam, yeah. So Ross's first home run since the walk-off grand slam. He had 2 walk-off home runs last year, didn't he? Or who had the one on the game that was raining that I streamed on Periscope? I think. Yeah. As this is pop foul. Taylor Ferguson, right? Yeah. So Ross picks up his first home run since the walk-off grand slam July 21st of last year against Watertown. Alvarez fouls that one off, and he's behind 0-2. Infield in again with first base open, less than 2 outs. Fouled off by Julian. Blue Sox do not want to settle for just being tied after this half inning. They want to take the lead here. They've already been up 1-0 and saw that lead evaporate. They've tied at 2 and saw Melrose retake the lead. They need to capitalize here. 3 hits leading off the inning, and now a ground out to the pitcher. Now 1-2 count to the cleanup man. Alvarez pops it up, and it's caught by the shortstop Hughie for out number 2. So your 3 and 4 hitters. Some tough breaks there. Burgos hit a rocket back up the middle, but it was fielded by Smeglin. And I don't see what Stevens has for an encore. Had a leadoff home run last inning, and he takes inside ball 1. Blue Sox, second and third, nobody out. They need to get more than 1 run out of this. That's outside, but it was thrown so hard and ricocheted off the backstop so hard that there was no chance for the runners to advance. 2-0. Stevens needs to come through here in a big way. Base hit will bring home 2 and give the Blue Sox the lead. That's all you're asking for at this point. High for ball 3. Are you pitching around Stevens to get to Brown? Now time is called. And they're just going to put him on. They're going to put him on. It's an intentional walk. So Stevens reaches, and they figure fall behind 3-0, not going to lay a fastball in against this guy. So here's Morgan Brown with the bases loaded and 2 out. Brown flew out to center his first time up. And Brown grounds this one down the first baseline foul for strike 1. Blue Sox have had a run in every inning. Trying to come through with a crooked number here in the third. On the outside corner, strike 2. Oof. I haven't seen that pitch called a strike at all tonight. So Brown behind 0-2 instead of even in the count 1-1. And the pitch. Swing and a miss at a pitch up and away for strike 3. And the side is retired. And the Blue Sox leave the bases loaded, but they do come back to tie it once again. After 2.5, 3-3, this is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of most past LSP video broadcasts or one of several different designs of stickers or shirts, including the LSP hoodie and the Never Concede Collection. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store after the game to place your order. Well, it's probably better that Borja didn't join me on color tonight because he has been thrust into the game here in the bottom of the third. Replacing Eddie Campbell, who goes 2 innings and allows 3 earned runs, no strikeouts, 2 walks, and 4 hits. That'll bring up Dave Center to lead off the bottom of the third, and he takes high, ball 1. Outside for ball 2. So Borja not having any more luck than Campbell did, at least to start. As that's fouled off for strike 1. This is flared into right field. On his horse is Alvarez. He dives, and he did not make the catch. So it'll be a leadoff single for Dave Center.
Now batting, number 22 out of Tufts University, Kyle Cortese.
So that'll bring up Kyle Cortese, who grounded out 3-1 his first time up in the first. As that's up and in for ball 1 to the left-handed hitting Cortese. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 2 left for the Americans. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 3 left for the Blue Sox. There's a called strike, 1-1. That's fouled off. Strike 2, 1-2 to Cortese. Center on first with his second hit of the ball game. 3-3 already here in the bottom of the third. Blue Sox looking to win their 3rd straight. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Borja picks up his first K for Blue Sox pitching altogether, and there's 1 down for Nick Gordo.
Now batting, number 25
Gordo singled home 2 but was thrown out in a pickle, trying to stretch it into a double to end the first, as that is fouled off for strike 1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Gordo, with Ian Libby due up next. This is grounded to the left side, could be 2. Curley gets it to second for 1. That's all they're going to get. You get the lead runner center on the 6-4 force. Fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Ian Libby. One game is already final in the ICL tonight. The Wakefield Merchants defeated the Malden Mad Dogs 8-6. Other action going on right now has the Aloe Brandies visiting the Andre Chiefs over at Maplewood. Top 2 teams in the league. 3 of the top 4 teams in the league in action tonight. So that's down and away for ball 1. Both these teams looking to win their 3rd straight game. Two and 0. As a team, the Americans have batted .284, which is 4th in the ICL. The Blue Sox as a team have batted .333. Three and 0 to Libby. Pitching, though, is a much different story. Is Blue Sox, well, not that much different. Blue Sox at 2, team ERA of 2. Melrose very good, 264 at 3rd in the league. As that is laid in there for strike 1, 3-1, with Libby taking all the way. High for ball 4. Borja can't believe it, but that looked like the right call.
The right fielder, number 39, Dan O'Leary.
So it'll be up to Dan O'Leary to try and bring home maybe the go-ahead run once again for the Americans. He's got a runner in scoring position and 2 out, also with a runner at first. O'Leary laid down a sac bunt his first time up. And that misses for ball 1. This is fouled off to even the count at 1. These are 2 teams that don't really rely on their wheels to score runs. Both teams with exactly 1 stolen base on the season. Melrose has been caught twice. This is lined, and a diving catch by Ross Curley for the out that retires the side.
3-3.
That saved a run and may have saved 2 runners from getting into scoring position. So after 3 complete, we are tied at 3. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow afternoon at 12:55 p.m. with the MBCA Sophomore Select All-Star Game. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. Here we go to the top of the fourth. It'll be the bottom third of the order. Josue Feliciano, John Puttress, and Dominic Zaire.
Off the Blue Sox, number 21, the first baseman, Josue Feliciano.
Sway, the ICL's leading hitter coming into play tonight, grounded out to short his first time up. And that's inside for ball one. Sway pops this one foul over the backstop and beyond the bleachers for strike one. Sway's batting .615 coming into play, but he has not walked yet as he fouls that one off to make it strike two. He hasn't walked or been hit by a pitch. Alex Wojtek, who started the season on fire, 4 for 7. Not in the lineup tonight. Kyle 80 keeps up his .500 batting average through his first two play appearances. This is driven deep to left, and this is out of the reach of the left fielder. Gets away from him for a second. Sway is on his way to second with his third double of the season.
Now batting the catcher, number 2, John Puttress.
So here comes Kevin Burgoyne, and that double was the end of it for Sean Smeglin. He departs responsible for the go-ahead run at second base. So we have a pitching change come to you from Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass. Blue Sox and Americans tied at 3. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. The new pitcher for the Americans is Chris Mitchell. Mitchell making his third appearance of the season, 1-1 with a making his fourth appearance of the season, 1-1 with a .336 ERA in 8 1/3 innings. He's allowed 17 hits, 7 runs, 4 of which are earned, walked nobody, struck out 8, and surrendered 2 home runs.
In pitching for Sean Smeglin, number 5, Chris Mitchell.
Mitchell pitched 5 nights ago against Somerville, got the win in 5 innings, allowing 6 hits, 3 runs, none of which were earned, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. Both his decisions have come against the Royals. So here is John Puttress, possible sack bunt situation. And he does not square, and he fouls it off for strike one. Putty is 0 for 1 with a fly out to right. He He squares this time, gets it down between home plate and the mound. The throw on to first goes into right field into foul territory. Sway will score the go-ahead run. That's going to be an E1, a sac bunt and an E1.
Now batting the center fielder, number 29, Dominic Zaire.
And that brings up Dominic Zaire. Still nobody out in the inning as the Blue Sox score for the fourth consecutive inning. And Zaire will ground this one to short. Putty will advance to third. The throw on to first is low, but it's picked out of the dirt by the first baseman, Libby. So it's a productive first out. Putty advances to third.
Now batting the shortstop, number 4, Ross Curley.
That'll bring up Ross Curley. He's 2 for 2 with a homer and a single. And the infield comes in here. And he fouls that one off the mask of Stanton for strike one. So already on the third trip through the order for the Blue Sox with one out in the fourth. Feliciano with a double, then a sac bunt and an error. Bring home Feliciano and allow Putras to reach second. That missed somehow, 1-1. As Roscoe fouls that one onto Linfels Parkway for strike two. It's been one in the first, one in the second, one in the third, and one in the fourth thus far for the Blue Sox. But they had an opportunity last inning to put up a crooked number. They had second and third, nobody out, and the bases loaded, 2 out, and could only get 1 run home. 2-2. Americans had 2 in the first, 1 in the second. At first and second, 2 out last inning before Ross ended the inning with a nice diving catch on a line out. Ross grounds this one to short. It'll be fielded there by the shortstop Hughie on to first. 2 down, and Putty holds at third. So Ross is now 2 for 3, and that brings up Kyle 80.
Now batting, number 20, the left fielder, Kyle 80.
80, 1 for 2 with a double. That double brought home Zaire with the tying run last inning, as that is in there for strike one. With the way Melrose is hitting and with the way the strike zone is from this home plate umpire, case in point, strike two on a pitch that looked inside, Blue Sox really need to take advantage of these opportunities and put up a crooked number. Can't just go ones across the board. 1 and 2. Can't put ones across the board and expect that's necessarily going to hold up. Sure, you're up 4-3 right now, but left the bases loaded last inning. Ball 2. As both Stanton and Mitchell thought they had strike 3. Well, to be fair, that looked more of a strike than the one that was called strike 2 was. Makeup call, maybe? As this is fouled off at the dish. We really need contributions for Burgos and Alvarez, who are on deck next. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. 80 nonplussed, but there's not much he can do about it. It's just how it's been all night, it seems. Blue Sox do take the lead, but leave a runner at third. After 3.5, we're halfway home. It is the Blue Sox 4, the Americans 3. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Jackson Stanton to lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth against Borja Jones-Barasaluthe. Stanton 1 for 1 with a single, and he skies this one into right field. Alvarez may have lost it for a second, but then found it, and there's one down.
Now batting, second baseman, number 8, Josh Bond.
Here's Josh Bond, who had a sacrifice fly for the last Americans run back in the second. As that is in there for strike one. This is the time where Borja really needs to throw a shutdown inning. He got the first batter on one pitch. Now he's ahead of this next batter, 0-1. As this is grounded to the left side, deep in the hole, backhanded by Ross, and he won't have a play.
Base hit by Bond.
He really wanted to do the Derek Jeter jump throw, but thought better of it.
Now batting the third baseman, number 17, Elias Verinos.
Here's Elias Verinos. He is 1 for 2 with a single. 4-3 our score in the bottom of the fourth. Blue Sox have had 1 run in every inning, but they've left 4 runners, including the bases loaded in the third. As this is grounded to third, Burgos to second for 1, on to first, double play! A very quick inning for Borja as he faces the minimum. As the Blue Sox go around the horn 5-4-3 on that inning-ending double play. After 4 complete, still 4-3 Blue Sox. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel.
Leading off for the Lexington Blue Sox, number 18, the third baseman, Richie Burgos.
Richie Burgos will lead things off here in the top of the fifth. Burgos is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, looking and a ground out to the pitcher. Really not a fair out that was in the third with the runners in scoring position, but he breaks through with a base hit here. Law of averages, I guess. He does get a base hit to right to lead off the inning. So here comes Julian Alvarez. He's also 0 for 2 with a fly out to right and a pop up to short. That out that Richie made. And a really not fair hit. Really hard right back up the box and fell right into the lap of Smeglin.
Julian Alvarez.
Jules comes up empty at that first pitch for strike one. Mitchell delivers down and away, 1-1. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 4 left for the Blue Sox. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, and 4 left for the Americans. Good breaking ball there by Mitchell, and it's 1-2. Zach Stevens on deck, and the 1-2 is driven deep to left. Alvarez pitches the bat. It is back. It is gone. The third home run of the game for the Blue Sox. And it is 6-3.
Home run by Alvarez.
So there we are with the Blue Sox hitting 3 home runs at Morelli again.
Now batting number 51, the designated
And
hitter,
here is the man who already has a home run to his credit tonight. Zach Stevens also has a intentional walk after they fell behind him 3-0 as that bounces to the plate for ball 1. So there is the long-awaited crooked number for the Blue Sox. They get 2 on the board in 1 inning. They've had the leadoff man aboard in every inning. They've had the first 2 reach in each of the last 3. Two and 1. Home runs tonight by Curley, Stevens, and now Alvarez. As the Blue Sox, offense certainly not lacking this season, but really exploding here tonight. As Stevens fires that one back up the box for a base hit, he's on board for the 3rd time. So that'll bring up Morgan Brown.
number 7, Morgan Brown.
And he is the last Blue Sox left in the lineup who hasn't reached base. He is 0 for 2 with a fly out to center and a strikeout. Burgos and Alvarez erased their 0-fers this inning. What can Brown do? He'll sky it into a right center field, and it will be caught on the run by Gordo for out number 1. Now, to be fair,
Now batting, the first baseman,
Putty technically has an 0-fer,
Josue Feliciano.
but of course he reached on that sac bunt where the error. So here's Feliciano, 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. And he chops this one to the right side, snagged out of the air by the pitcher Mitchell to second for 1 on to first, double play. And the inning is over on the 1-6-3 double play.
6-3, Blue Sox.
With the Blue Sox strike for 2 more on the 2-run jack by Julian Alvarez. After 4.5, 6-3 Blue Sox, this is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Americans here in the bottom of the 5th. Borja Jones Barasaluthe back on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. He's kept the Americans out of the run column since taking over for Eddie Campbell. Allowed 3 runs on 4 hits in his 2 innings. And that misses outside for ball 1. Hughie, Center, and Cortese due up. Hughie 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Also flew out to center to end the 2nd. And he'll pop this one up into shallow right. Out goes Brown. In comes Alvarez. Alvarez will make the catch for the 1st out.
Now batting left fielder, number 13, Dave Center.
Here's Dave Center. He's 2 for 2 with a run scored. And that misses the inside corner for ball 1. Three runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 4 left for the Americans. A swing and a miss by Center. It's 1-1. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 4 left for the Blue Sox. This is laced down the third base line. It is a fair ball into the corner. Center is around first. He's on his way to second. The throw back in will not be in time, and it's Center's 3rd hit of the game, a double.
Double for Dave Center. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 22, Kyle Cortese.
So let's see if Kyle Cortese can erase his 0 for. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out, 3-1, and a strikeout looking. He has been Borja's only strikeout victim thus far. In fact, Lexington pitching's only strikeout victim thus far. 0-1 as he swings over the top of that changeup. Center at second. 1 out here in the 5th. Swing and a miss behind that one, and now it's 0-2. Nick Gordo on deck. Outside 1-2. Gotta make it a little more tempting than that, don't you? Change up away. No, go down and in. Good block by Putty, preventing Center from advancing, and it's 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There's the changeup. It wasn't away, it was down and over the middle, but down below the knees. And there are 2 down as Cortese goes down on strikes for the 2nd time.
The center fielder, number 24, Nick Gordo.
Here's Nick Gordo. He's 1 for 2. Had that 2-run single in the 1st that could have been a double if he hadn't gotten caught in a pickle. Reached on fielder's choices last time up. And he takes down and away ball 1. In the top of the 6th, the Blue Sox will have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up, Puttress, Zaire, and Curley. Inside for ball 2. Borja's not afraid to work inside to right-handed batters. But Gordo made a stone-cold take there. Didn't even flinch as it came in hot on him. Now he goes with the slider down and away. Comes up empty for strike one, 2-1. Blue Sox have had 3 home runs tonight. That's in their first strike, 2-2. Center's double was the first extra base hit of the night for the Americans. The Blue Sox have had 3 home runs and a double. 2 doubles, in fact. This is skied into center field. Zare's camping under it. And he makes the catch for the out. That retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. 5 complete, still 6-3 Blue Sox. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of most past LSP video broadcasts or one of several different designs of stickers or shirts, including the LSP hoodie and the Never Concede Collection. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store after the game to place your order.
Buttress.
And then we had a 4-homer game here in the finals against Reading, which is the only 4-homer game we had.
Right. John Buttress, first pitch swing, nice diving stop by the shortstop, Hughie, but it won't be enough to prevent a base hit. And Putty is aboard to lead off the inning.
The center fielder.
Blue Sox have had 1,
29, Dominic Zare.
and it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner at first for Putty, and let's see if we can get an eye on that. So we have a pinch runner, and it's going to be
Pinch running.
Aaron Barboza.
Buttress. Number 6, Aaron Barboza.
So Barboza takes over at first base, and the pitch to Dominic Zare is downstairs for ball 1, although I seriously doubt that Barboza will be catching next inning. Runs inside, and it's 2-0 to Dominic. Last time the Blue Sox had a 4-home run game was in the championship series 2 years ago against Reading. That's the only 4-home run game, as that is a strike somehow. 2-1. That's the only 4-home run game the Blue Sox have had since at least 2006. Runner takes off. This is into the gap in left center, and this will get down for a base hit, and now it kicks away from the center fielder Gordo, and a throw to second, and they did not get him. It's a double.
You're gonna be kidding. Holy mackerel.
Dominic's there with his second hit of the ball game. Barboza could have scored on that one if he had kept running, but he had to hold up to make sure the ball wasn't caught. But I could tell pretty well from up here that it wasn't going to be caught. It was going to drop.
Number 4, the shortstop, Ross Curley.
So here is Ross Curley as the Blue Sox try to pad their lead a little more. Infield comes in, and the pitch is outside for ball 1. Ross 2 for 3 with the home run leading off the ball game and a single. Grounded out to short his last time up in the 4th. And Ross loops this one into left field for a base hit. Barbosa scores, being waved around third is there. The throw to the plate will be cut off. It's a 2-run single for Ross, and it is 8-3.
That's it for Scott. For Craig Mitchell. Craig Mitchell, folks.
So Chris Mitchell departs, and we'll have a pitching change coming to you
Chris Mitchell.
from Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass. Blue Sox 8, Americans 3. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow afternoon at 12:55 p.m. when we broadcast the NBCA Sophomore Select All-Star Game from Worcester State. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. New pitcher for the Melrose Americans is Nick Colucci. And Colucci will be making his first appearance on the mound, it looks like. No, excuse me. Didn't see him on the Melrose pitching roster for a second, but there he is. Making his fourth appearance of the season, 0-1 with a 6.18 ERA in 5 2/3 innings. He's allowed 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 which are earned, walked 8, and struck out 11. That's good for a whip of 2.471. Last pitch 10 nights ago against Reading, went 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which are earned, walked 2, and struck out 3.
Now batting.
So here's Kyle 80.
20, Kyle 80.
So runner at first, nobody out. Nobody out for Kyle 80, who checks his swing and fouls it off for strike 1. Kyle's 1 for 3 with a double. Needs a hit here to keep up his 500 batting average. Oh, and 2 the count to 80. First 3 men have reached here in the top of the 6th, chasing Mitchell after 2 innings. Throw back to first, and back safely is Ross. It's been Smeglin, Mitchell, and now Colucci for Melrose. Campbell and Jones-Barasaluthe for the Blue Sox. Outside, 1 and 2. Every Blue Sox has reached base at least once, except for Morgan Brown. That's upstairs, 2 and 2. In fact, every Blue Sox has had a hit except Brown. That just missed, 3 and 2. Blue Sox up 8-3 after falling behind 2-1 and 3-2 early on in this game. 6 unanswered by the Blue Sox. And a swing and a miss at a high one by Kyle 80 for out number 1. Second time Kyle's gone down on strikes.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 18, Richie Burgos.
Here's Richie Burgos. Singled and scored last time up. Oh, excuse me, we have a pinch hitter.
For Burgos.
Burgos, okay. And it's going to be Anderson Jimenez.
Anderson Jimenez. Jimenez.
So Jimenez will pinch hit for Burgos here, and Jimenez takes on the outside corner for strike one. And we told you the story about how Jimenez and Hughie faced off in the NCAA tournament, as that is fouled off for strike two. I'm sure he'd find it pretty sweet if he could bloop one over Hughie's head for a base hit here. Breaking ball just misses the inside corner, 1-2. Julian Alvarez is on deck. Nobody grabbing a bat for him in the on-deck circle. So Richie finishes his night 1 for 3. And now the 1-2 is ground to the left side. Well, he does get it past Hughie for a base hit.
The right fielder, number 24, Julian Alvarez.
So that'll bring up Alvarez. That big 2-run home run last inning, giving the Blue Sox their first crooked number of the night. They've got a crooked number here again in the 6th and looking for more. Colucci looks at second and comes home with it. And it's in there for strike one. Four hits this inning for the Blue Sox. That's inside for ball one. Blue Sox have had 3 hits in an inning twice, in the 3rd and the 5th. This is the first time they've had 4 hits in an inning tonight. They've had at least 1 run in every inning. As Alvarez takes down and away, 2-1. 3 home runs in the game by the Blue Sox, 1 leading off the ball game by Ross, 1 leading off the second by Zach Stevens, and then a 2-run jack by Alvarez last inning to get the Blue Sox lead up to a breathable 3. Alvarez laces this one into center field. That's down for a base hit. Curley's around third. Jimenez is on his way to third. And the Blue Sox lead 9-3. Alvarez picks up his 3rd RBI of the ball game.
Now batting, number 51, the designated hitter, Zach Stevens.
Zach Stevens to the plate. He's been on base all 3 times, and he fouls that one off for strike 1. Homered in the 2nd, walked in the 3rd, singled in the 5th. Freshman All-American at Navy is Zach Stevens as he fouls that one off to make it strike 2. For Alvarez, he has doubled his RBI total on the year up to 6. Ross has also picked up 3 RBIs, doubling his RBI total to 6. As Stevens, it sounded like he broke his bat there on that pop-up, and it's caught by the shortstop Hughie for out number 2. So looks like we got 2 number 1s. So 1 second. So John Barry will take over for Morgan Brown here.
Hitting for Morgan Brown, number 1.
John Barry
John Barry.
Standing in. And Barry takes outside for ball one. Barry playing in his second game of the season. He was 1 for 4 with a run scored and 2 RBIs in the season opener against the Alabrandies. As that's high for ball 2. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 3 in the sixth for the Blue Sox. Still looking for more, though. They got runners at the corners here. As that ties up Barry inside for strike 1. Inside 3-1. So Brown finishes his night 0 for 3. And it looks like we have a pinch hitter on deck for the Blue Sox for Josue Feliciano. I believe that's Nate Wolf. Number 5 in red, number 1 in your hearts. As Barry comes up empty, strike 2. Full count pitch. Runner goes from first. The pitch is an excuse me swing. Foul at the dish. So Alvarez will have to go back to first. Pitch is strike 3 called. Barry can't believe it, but not much reason to complain for the Blue Sox tonight. They've really broken out here with a 9-run performance thus far after 5.5. 9-3 Blue Sox. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. So we have a slew of changes to report for the Blue Sox. First is that Billy Christopher takes over on the mound.
Billy Christopher in on the mound.
got a new pitcher. He's got a new catcher to throw to. It's Mitch Schroeder, number 22.
Catching is Mitch Schroeder.
Then we got Nate Wolf at first. Anderson Jimenez staying in the game at third. Morgan Brown's replacement in the lineup, John Barry, takes over at second. And it'll be Nico Freilich in right field. And a called third strike by Billy Christopher to Ian Levy. So here's Dan O'Leary, the right fielder. Borja will be in line for the win after pitching the last 3 innings. O'Leary is 0 for 1 with a sac bunt. And Christopher fires a breaking ball in there for strike one. On the outside corner, strike two, 0 and 2 to O'Leary. So we'll relay the full changes again in just a second. But here is the pitch, and it's down and away for ball one. So
there's the MVP, the real MVP.
So it's Nico Freilich in right field for Julian Alvarez. Anderson Jimenez in at third after pinch hitting for Burgos. That's a straight swap. John Barry in at second for Morgan Brown after pinch hitting. That's a straight swap. As this is ground down the third base line, remains 1 and 2. Mitch Schroeder, now the catcher after Barboza pinch ran for Putty. And Nate Wolf in at first for Josue Feliciano. Got all that? And, of course, Billy Christopher on the mound. Got all that? Good. It'll be a short quiz next period. That just missed 2 and 2. This is popped up. Schroeder's coming over towards the fence, reaches behind him and can't make the catch.
In at first base is Wolf, catching is Schroeder. Freilich in right field, Jimenez at third base, and Barry at second.
And that just misses for ball 3. Christopher having a hard time putting away O'Leary. And he comes up empty there for strike 3.
Eddie, are you just waking up? Are you just waking up? The catcher, number 41, Jackson Stanton.
So 2 strikeouts on the first 2 batters for Christopher. And here's Jackson Stanton, who's 1 for 2 with a single, as he takes low ball 1. High for ball 2 to make it 2 and 0. Can't sling that one to the outside corner. That misses 3 and 0. Christopher and Rob DeFranco, of course, were a formidable back end of the bullpen for many years for the Blue Sox with those sidearm deliveries, slingshot deliveries. So that gets in there for strike 1. Rob, of course, former color commentator extraordinaire for us. The 3-1. Grounded down the first baseline foul, and from 3-0 to 3-2. 9 runs, 14 hits, no errors. 6 left for the Blue Sox. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Way behind that one.
The score is 9-3 Blue Sox.
And the side is retired. Christopher strikes out the side in order. After 6 complete, still 9-3 Blue Sox. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. New pitcher for the Americans is the bearded submariner Pat Marr. This is his first appearance in a Melrose Americans uniform. And this will be the first time these Blue Sox hitters will have seen him. And his first task will be the newly inserted first baseman Nate Wolf.
Leading off for the Blue Sox, here in the top of the 7th, number 5, first baseman Nate Wolf.
Wolf takes over for Feliciano, who finished 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. And that misses up and in for ball 1. Nate takes low, ball 2. Nate is 0 for 1 on the young season. Got a pinch hit appearance against the Merchants on the 14th. It's in there for strike 2, 2 and 2. Last year for the Blue Sox, Nate batted .281 with 1 homer and 6 RBIs. And he may have broken his bat on that one as it goes down the first base line fair, and it hops over the bag for a base hit.
Now batting, the catcher, number 22, Mitch Schroeder.
So Mitch Schroeder will get his first at-bat now with a runner at first and nobody out. Schroeder playing in his 3rd game. He is 2 for 3 on the season. And he lines this one through the right side for a base hit. And he is still a career 1,000 hitter against the Melrose Americans. 2 for 2. Now Dominic Zaire. Had a double and a run scored last inning.
Dominic Zaire.
Zaire's 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, single and a double. And that is slung in there for strike 1. Little frisbee changeup. Third baseman Varinos. As this is driven into center field. And this is caught by the center fielder, Cortese, with his back to home plate. Well, it's starting to get a little muggy, so maybe the humidity kept the ball in the ballpark. That would have been the 4th home run of the game for the Blue Sox.
Shortstop number 4, Ross Curley.
So that'll bring up Ross Curley. 3 for 4 with a home run and 3 RBIs. And he takes a breaking ball that hung up there a long, long time for strike 1. That could have easily been his 2nd home run of the game. And he bloops this one down the 3rd baseline. That's dangerous. That's down for a fair ball and a base hit. And trying to get back safely and able to do so.
Come on.
Is Wolf.
The infield umpire blew that call.
So the bases are loaded. I thought if Wolf kept running, he would have had a chance to score. But this is not Kyle 80. We have a pinch hitter for Kyle, so 1 second. That's outside for ball 1. Bases loaded, only 1 out. A check swing, and he went around. Looks like this is Nick Harper making his Blue Sox debut. As he pops this one up. This is going to be caught. Runner bluffs off of 3rd as the throw gets back into the infield quickly for out number 2. So Anderson Jimenez will get his 2nd at-bat of the game.
Now batting, Anderson Jimenez.
As Jimenez takes ball 1. He singled his last time up. His first time up, in fact. On the outside corner, strike 1 to even the count. This would be the 2nd time the Blue Sox leave the bases loaded if Jimenez can't come through here. And he's behind 1 and 2. I mean, granted, you're up 9-3, but always feels good when you get to double digits. Wolf at 3rd, Schroeder at 2nd, Curley at 1st, and strike 3. And the side is retired. The Blue Sox get 3 hits, but no runs. After 6.5, it is closing time for the Blue Sox. Blue Sox 9, Americans 3. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Always. Remember where you came from, Eddie. Don't forget us.
You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring, LSP37, Snapchat, LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. So that was C.J. McKinnett, by the way, who pinch hit for Kyle 80 in the top half of this inning. So, and McKinnett stays in the game at left field. So for the Melrose Americans, Nick Rath will pinch hit here. Rath batting .500. with 3 RBIs and 2 doubles. Christopher delivers strike 1 to the pinch hitter. Rath in these teams' first meeting on June 3rd was 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored, a double, an RBI, and a walk. He grounds his 1 to the left side, fielded by Jimenez. He'll throw on to first in time. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. So Rath is retired pinch hitting for Josh Bond. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for Varinos.
Dennis Crowley.
And Dennis Crowley is going to pinch hit for Elias Varinos. And a breaking ball comes over the plate for strike 1. Strike 2, and Crowley showing some discomfort here, not pulling the trigger at those pitches. And he'll foul that one off. Still 0-2 to the pinch hitter Crowley. Christopher winds and delivers. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. 4 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3 for Christopher, and the Americans are down to their final out, and it'll be in the person of Charlie Hughey.
Now batting the shortstop, number 23, Charlie Hughey.
Blue Sox pitchers have retired 8 in a row, and 9 of the last 10. 10 of the last 11, in fact. That misses high for ball 1. This holds up. The win is going to go to Borja Jones-Barasaluthe, and the loss is going to go to Sean Smeglin, as that is fouled off for strike 1. Blue Sox had a run in every inning except the 7th, but they had base runners on in every inning. Down and away, 2-1. 3 home runs in the game for the Blue Sox. Home runs each by Curly, Stevens. As that's strike 2, and the Americans down their final strike. Curly, Stevens, and Alvarez. Now the last gasp for the Americans here. Charlie Hughey tries to prolong this game. The 2-2. On the outside corner, strike 3 called, and the ball game is over. So in a game that took 1 hour and 57 minutes, the winning pitcher, as I mentioned, Borja Jones-Barasaluthe. The losing pitcher is Sean Smeglin. No save. The final totals for the Blue Sox: 9 runs, 17 hits, no errors, and 3, 4, 6, 9 left. 2, 5, 6, 9, 14. Yeah, 9 runs, 17 hits, no errors, and 9 left. And for the Melrose Americans, 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 5 left. Our players of the game, I'll give it to Ross Curley, who goes 4 for 5 with a home run, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. And why not Billy Christopher, 2 innings with 5 strikeouts of scoreless, hitless relief to shut things down. We'll also give a shout out to Zach Stevens, who went 2 for 3 with a home run. So the Blue Sox starting to get on a roll here. They have won 3 in a row. They snapped Melrose's 2-game winning streak. And now they have to face the Reading Bulldogs, always a tough test, in their first matchup of the season tomorrow night at Lexington High. So with that said, this has been a presentation of local sports productions in the Lexington Blue Sox. LSP has been serving Greater Boston student athletes since 2011. Copyright 2019. Unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Lexington Blue Sox or local sports productions is strictly prohibited. LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow afternoon at 12:55 p.m. with the MBCA Sophomore Select All-Star Game live from Worcester State. And then tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m., we'll have the Blue Sox hosting the Reading Bulldogs. Watch the games live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the games the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the games at the LSP store. And be sure to follow LSP on the web, localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring, LSP37, Snapchat, LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Once again, the final score from Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass. It is Lexington Blue Sox 9 and the Melrose Americans 3. My name is Sam Feely, reminding you freelance isn't free. Thanks for tuning in.